Lifeweaver is Overwatch 2's newest support, and he has one of the most interesting kits in the game. He is from Thailand and has a love for nature and biolite technology, with him actually being roommates with Symmetra at Vishkar. But let's get into his kit. His primary fire consists of ranged thorns with no falloff, doing 110 damage per second. Lifeweaver's Healing Blossom does a minimum of 10 healing, however when it's fully charged it does 65 over 0.3 seconds, but takes 1.2 seconds to charge. My favorite ability of his is a Petal Platform that is activated by an enemy or ally and elevates you into the air at the distance of the nearest platform. Next, his pull ability, which I'm excited to see how it plays out, pulls allies towards Lifeweaver and also protects them with a bubble. On Lifeweaver's shift, he has a dash much like Hanzo Jump that does 25 self-healing and is on a short 5-second cooldown. He also has a hero special passive that drops a flower on his body after dying that an ally or enemy can pick up like a health pack. Lastly, for his ult, it is called the Tree of Life that is placed on any flat surface, doing 150 initial healing and 50 HP over the course of 8 pulses in 1.75 intervals and a radius of 12.5 meters. Now let's go into more depth regarding his kit. For his healing, he has 12 ammo, and charging up one Healing Blossom fully does 65 healing, while shooting one without charging does 10. A full clip of not charging them would do 120 instead of 780 healing. This means it's best to charge your shots so you aren't wasting heal potential. He also has a 25% movement penalty and can heal at a range of 30 meters max. After playing him in Pugs, I learned he can pocket people pretty well, not so much tanks though. And this is mostly dependent on how you're charging your shots. It helps to notice who is shooting your teammates and their current health state to see how urgent of heals they need. As for Thorn Volley, he has 60 shots of non-falloff projectile damage with spread. Each bullet does 5 damage and his reload speed is 1.5 seconds. He is good at both long and short range damage. I definitely feel like for his kit, utilizing damage alongside healing will be most effective, meaning if you want a heal bot, a different support would be way more useful. His next two abilities, which I think can be great comboed together, are his dash and platform. What I mean by comboing is there are a few spots on maps that you can get to on Lifeweaver doing these rollouts. The platform is a 400 HP petal that lifts an enemy or ally into the air but stays on the ground indefinitely until stepped on, and when it is stepped on it lasts about 9 seconds in the sky. The petal is on a 12-second cooldown, which is on the shorter end in my opinion, but still should be used thoughtfully, especially when taking stronger positions or saving a teammate. It is good to mention there is tech with the petal where when it reaches the highest position you jump and it gives you a small boost. Another cool thing I learned about the platform is that you can use it to block doorways, however it is pretty difficult, and I found that putting it down before you step on it is how to get it to work the majority of the time. This could be useful if you're running from a tank, and you can crouch through it, so keep that in mind. Here are some things I've tested that the petal can save you from. Sigma Flux if timed correctly before being lifted. Zarya when she grabs, this one is the easiest. Ursa when she ults, but if you're too close to her, it'll bring her into the sky with you. Just make sure to drop down or back up when you're pulled into the initial ult. Ryan Shatter if timed correctly as well. You can platform when slammed in mines by a ball, but you need to be careful if he's right next to you. You can use the platform as you're being chased to pull a diver in the sky, in this case Winston. It can help you from Ramatra's vortex and will also block his ult, but he can still shoot through the petal. If you're on the platform, it'll block hog hooks or break them depending on the angle. You can use it to get out of mail, but also make sure to not put it directly on Snowball. It can fully block High Noon. It can save you from a tire if there's no walls nearby. Walling yourself up when a Genji is blading to waste his dash, then dash away is also a strategy you could try. I found out it's hard to live Reaper Blossom unless you use dash first and then platform on yourself or the Reaper. If Diva Bomb is on the ground, you can also wall yourself up to block the damage from it. You can wall up Bob and Turret, but only if the platform is stepped on after the Torbjorn turret. You can platform the ground when being ulted by Doom and dash off to save yourself. As for just his dash, it can be used in many situations since the cooldown is very short. This includes using it to quickly get in range of someone in order to pull them to safety, dodging shots, and taking better positions. It should also be at the back of your mind that this ability heals for 25 and may come in handy for that reason. Let's talk about Lifeweaver's pull ability. I did a lot of testing with this and found out some pretty useful things, but basically this ability pulls teammates from a 30-meter distance and adds a bubble of protection to them, which is very strong, but does not cleanse. It can be cancelled by characters with movement abilities like Tracer, Sojourn, Monkey, etc. Here's a list of few of the things that you can and can't do. You can't pull Mercy Res. You can't cleanse, anti, or hack. You can pull out of Shatter, but the person stays shattered. You can pull out of Flux. And you can pull most ulting characters. For his ult, I haven't done enough testing to fully say how strong it is, but it's basically a giant soldier heal pad in my opinion. The tree lasts 15 seconds with a radius of 12.5 meters and 1000 HP, meaning it can be destroyed, and I've noticed it is pretty easy to do if your teammates help out. The initial healing from the tree is very strong, and it can save your teammates as it is 150 HP with 50 HP over 8 pulses, which adds up to 550 health. You also need to keep in mind the tree does need LOS, much like other support ults like Beat Drop. Since the tree is a giant object, it can also be used to block doors, which I accidentally did and didn't realize you can cancel the ult with your ult button if needed. Last but not least, he has a hero-specific passive called Parting Gift that only stays up for 12 seconds and does 250 healing to teammates and 75 healing to enemies. This scares me a bit because I can imagine Lifeweaver dying to a flanker who gets the health and is able to kill you as well with that advantage. It's just something to keep in mind when he dies on your team or the enemy team. Here are some of the heroes I think Lifeweaver will be good with and against. For allies, I think he is good with most tanks, but found out that if you have a ball that is being hard focused by a Sombra, he is able to quickly pull ball out of the area to get help. This applies to most tanks as well that are too far or in critical health, like a Monkey diving too far in the backline, or if a tank would just be better off on high ground. It's important to know your playstyle while making these team comps. Because of his low healing output, you can get more value playing supports such as Kiriko, Ana, or even Mercy from what I've tested alongside Lifeweaver. It's difficult to play him with a support like Lucio because it's harder to pocket tanks. However, if the comp is a dive rather than poke, this could work out. For DPS, I think he does well with anyone who gets value on high ground. This means Cassidy, Soldier, Bastion, basically any hit scan. Being able to utilize the Petal to get an ulting cast on it is also a smart strategy. As for what he's good against, for tank, I felt like I got a lot of value against both Ryan and Sigma because being able to pull people out of pins, shatters, and fluxes is so strong. Lifeweaver can perform well against most DPS, but I struggled a lot versus Sombra because her EMP can cancel your ult and abilities, though being able to pull hack teammates towards safety is good. More DPS I think he's good against are any flanker because using the platform to put you or your other support in the air to safety is optimal. I will have to test him more against various comps to gather more info regarding these topics. The million-dollar question is, will he be a main or off healer? And to that, I don't even think I can answer because to me he seems way more like an off healer, but if you only heal bot, it could go the other way. Lifeweaver just really struggles with keeping tanks up as it does take a while to charge his healing, and being able to utilize your abilities as well, I don't think focusing on healing a tank should be the go-to playstyle for this character. In conclusion, what do I think of Lifeweaver and do I think he will be meta? I think he is very fun and definitely has a high skill cap. He will perform well on teams with good synergy looking to make plays, especially with the platform. I don't think it will be hard meta since he does have low healing and less damage output than some of the other supports. However, he is able to save teammates really well, more so people that are feeding in the front line. He relies on teamwork heavily, so he probably won't be that great in metal ranks, but we'll just have to see. I hope this video was able to give you a good insight on what he's capable of, and I'm excited to test him more. I will be posting more videos about Lifeweaver, like how he plays in a team environment and what his abilities look like there, as well as some other fun things I discovered. I had a great time making this educational video about him, and will be making more once he comes out and as I get more practice. He is a support hero that I actually want to play and improve at, so stay tuned for when Season 4 comes out, and don't forget to subscribe.